What's up? I'm Big Bob.
Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington. I'm an original shark from the hit TV show Shark Tank. I'm also the creator of the infomercial, pioneer of the As Seen on TV brand, and I've been behind the scenes in business ventures that have produced well over $5 billion in global sales. Products like the Food Saver, Ginsu Knives, Tony Little Fitness, George Foreman, Jack LaLanne and the Juicer, many great folks. And of course, I'm constantly looking at ways to increase my bottom line, my performance, my mindset, and to become better every single day. Now, this is why I'm excited to be speaking at the Becoming the Better You conference on September 13th and 14th in Kansas City. Now, you won't ever achieve the life you want if you don't get started. And this is a place to get started because this is a 2-day life-changing event, and this is a place to take that first step. Now, we all strive to be the best versions of ourselves, but this is a show that's going to show you how. It's the BTBY, right? And I'm excited to be sharing the stage at this event with Brandon T. Adams, Chris Cumby, Dr. Ruben West, Brenda Ringwood, and it's many great speakers, and we're excited that Becoming the Better You has also inspired me so much that I'm going to let 6 to 8 people pitch me the shark at this event. So looking forward to seeing some deals and want you to be there. So if you want to know more, go over to www.comechangeyourlife.com. Find out more, check it out. Take care. See you there.
What's up, Big Bob? Today we have a special guest. But before I introduce my special guest, we have to give our shout out to Brenda Ringwood, who was the executive producer and the founder of BTBY, Becoming the Better You, which is something that I've spent a lot of time and energy filling my time with because it's helping me become a better me. And what greater gift can I give myself than be a better me? But today, I got a very good friend, Behman Zakeri. We've known each other.
We've known each other for somewhere between 15 and 20 years, and you still can't pronounce my first name right.
Well, how do I say it?
Behman.
Behman. Why don't you spell it different then?
I didn't name myself.
If you spelled it different, we'd be able to pronounce it right.
You can call me Beamer. You know that.
Beamer. I called you Beamer for years.
You did call me Beamer, and the reason that you're calling me Beeman instead of Behman is
Beeman.
You're morphing
Beamer.
it too. That's right.
Okay.
Beamer's what's doing it.
So, anyways, he considers himself a serial entrepreneur. So we're going to find out.
Like Captain Crunch stuff.
Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
More like Wheaties. We're going to find out exactly what kind of an entrepreneur Behman is.
I can't even look at him with a straight face. That's the best part.
Okay, so what was your first business you got involved with?
Collector's cash.
Really?
Yes.
That was the first thing you did to make money?
No, that's not what your question was.
Oh, what was the first thing that you did to make money?
I shoveled driveways for $1 a driveway in Overland Park.
How old?
9 years old, I'll bet.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That is when the light bulb went off. Your folks taught you, because this is not something you were born with, but your folks instilled in you a work ethic.
That's right.
You work, you get paid. You work, you get paid. You work, you get paid, and you can spend the money you earn.
That's right.
So at an early age.
Yeah. I saw Dad working his tail off as an engineer, and he was earning money. And with that money, he could buy us food. He could pay for stuff, buy a car.
You were more interested in this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
as a kid, of course. That's what we wanted. I wanted Garbage Pail Kids, to be honest with you. I wanted to get packs of Garbage Pail Kids.
So you got involved with cards.
Yes.
What, blackjack cards?
No,
poker
no, no,
cards?
no, no. It was all baseball cards, football cards, basketball, eventually hockey. But, we were lucky here in Kansas City to have Bo Jackson and George Brett.
Right.
So during those years were the wonder years of Kansas City sports because we were all collecting Bo Jackson cards, who was this worldwide phenomenon. And then
One of the greatest athletes ever to live.
of all time. And then you've got Chiefs football. So back then it would have been like Christian Okoye and Derek Thomas and Steve DeBerg. I mean, Dale Carter, and then our defensive guys, right? Neil Smith, Dan Saliamua. Yeah, what a great time to be in the cards.
Are you a fan?
Just slightly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So baseball,
That's right.
football,
Yep.
soccer.
Basketball, soccer. I love all sports. Kind of like you. I mean, you and I both love sports. If there's any competition, I'm in. I mean, you've seen some of the dumb games we'll play. I mean, we could play some some pong game or something. If you bounce like a ping pong ball or something.
All right. So tell me more about the card business.
What part do you want to know?
When did you start? When did you get involved? What was the profile? What was the apparatus looking like? How did it build? How did it expand? How big has it become? That kind of stuff.
Just a couple questions. Okay, so this would have been probably early 90s at this point. I'm probably a freshman at Shawnee Mission South High School here in town. And I was working at Price Chopper, sacking groceries for $4.25 an hour.
Again, you're working.
Yes.
Working underaged, right?
Yep. I'm 14 years old.
Right.
Right. Back then you could work at 14 and minimum wage was 4.25. So that's what I was making.
Right.
Sacking groceries, getting shopping carts out of the parking lot, regardless of the weather. And of course, sweeping floors and cleaning bathrooms, which is probably the highlight of my career. So on the side, of course, I'm mowing lawns.
Bathrooms,
Yeah. And at the time, I'll never forget my manager's name. His name was Ray. And I don't remember his last name, but he kind of had a mullet. And if he's still alive and he's still around and he worked for Price Chopper here at 95th and Knoll,
right.
he needs to reach out to me because I'd love to just shake his hand. But long story short, I was very motivated to get into another business because I enjoyed cards. And every weekend we would buy like a table at like a Holiday Inn or a Marriott here in town for $40 or $50. And we'd set up shop and just buy, sell, and trade. And sometimes I'd make a few $100 that weekend profit.
More than $4.25 an hour.
More than $4.25. I mean, 2 weeks of work, I might get $200 on a paycheck working part-time. I could make $200 in one day at a baseball card shop or more. And I enjoyed it way more. It was fun. I enjoyed sports. So I kept going to this card shop. Many people that are OGs of Kansas City area know of Collector's Cash when it used to be in Ranch Mart South Shopping Center.
Right.
And the Rainier family probably still owns, but owned Ranch Mart at the time. And Vic Rainier was my landlord, right? I didn't own it at the time. Scott Neal, his family started it in 1988.
All right. And
I worked for him, in the early 90s. So I started going up to see Scott, and I was just more of a customer, more of an annoying kid at the counter kind of thing. But I was like,
I can't imagine you being annoying.
but to be honest with you, if it was, I was willing to work for free. I just wanted to work at a card shop. So I told him, I was like, if you need anybody to sort cards, I'm cleaning toilets and sweeping floors and getting cards. I would love to work for you. And he said, you know what? I do a lot of traveling. I go to conventions out of state. I could use some extra help here. And so he offered me the same rate, basically. So I was super excited. I mean,
now you're doing something you really better than cleaning bathrooms.
That's right. I'm doing something I love, and we don't have a bathroom at Collector's Cash. There's a community bathroom outside that I'm not responsible for cleaning, right? So this was the best gig in the world. So I worked for him in high school, I think freshman year, sophomore year, for a couple years. And I started realizing real quickly, because I was no dummy even at 14 or 15, that this guy's making good money. And relative to what I'm making, I'm not making squat. Like in a day, I could make like $1,000 profit at a card shop, and maybe he's paying me $20, right? $30 or something. So I'm like, wait a second. If I did this on my own, I could make so much more money. So after a couple years of working for him, which by the way, you have to get your mentorship somewhere. You have to start somewhere. And he was my first mentor, the first guy besides my father that was teaching me business. And he showed me the industry, the ropes. So the carpet industry, the tile industry. Right. He was teaching me the collectible industry, right? Baseball cards, things like that. So I learned quick, because when you're a kid, you learn fast. And so I'm learning really quick. And then I went to my parents. I was like, we should consider like buying this card shop from this guy. I'll run it still. Da, da, da. And so we ran it past him. Are you interested? He said, it depends on the price. And our family ended up buying it in the summer of 1993. I'm a senior in Shawnee
30
Mission.
years.
No, it's more like probably 2 years I'm working for him.
No, it's 30 years ago.
Oh, 30 years ago. It was 31 years ago, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, 31 years ago.
Wow.
How about that? 3 decades. We went and we made a deal, and he said, yeah, I would sell it for that. And I remember, I was only 16 at the time, going on 17, getting ready to go into my senior year at Shawnee Mission South High School. And you can't register a business in the state of Kansas when you're 16 years old. So we had to go to Pops, and Pops fronted the money, and it wasn't that much money. But Dad had been investing and buying sports cards because we, as kids, my brother and I, were so passionate about our sports cards, right? So Dad's like, oh, this is an opportunity to kind of bond with my kids. And so long story short, we ended up buying it, and I think it was like July of 93. That's the month and the date that I remember. And that was 400 square feet, $400 a month. And we have since moved. Yeah, we went to 780 square feet at 95th and Metcalf. A lot of people met us there.
Right.
That would have been, 94 or so until probably 2000. We had gotten in, the baseball went on strike during that time, so we had to pivot, and we got into Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, Beanie Babies, and the rest is history. Then we outgrew that location. We went to 119th Street off of 69. That was about 2,400 square feet. We continued to expand, and then now we're at 9,000 square feet at College of Fun, plus a warehouse.
Plus a warehouse.
Plus a warehouse, yeah, plus a hidden warehouse.
What do you put in the warehouse?
Just cards, collectibles, stuff that we just keep accumulating, and collections we keep buying, inventory.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It is a lot of insurance.
Yeah, I mean, insurance, and there's, I have faith in some higher power we'll call God,
All right.
that I'll be protected.
So you have baseball, football, soccer,
Basketball.
Pokemon.
Pokemon is our biggest seller right now.
Still.
It's number one.
Are there Harry Potter cards?
Yeah, we sell Harry Potter cards. Name something.
Justice League.
Yeah, that's
X-Men.
Marvel and DC. Yeah, we sell it. Yeah,
Really?
we sell Marvel and DC. Upper Deck makes the new Marvel. They have the license for Marvel, so we sell Upper Deck cards. We also have the old stuff as well for both DC and Marvel.
So when I walk in your shop, do I get to see all these cards?
Yeah, we have samples, like sealed, like we have packs, boxes, single cards, supplies to put them in. Yeah, everything.
Is your whole inventory on a website?
Yeah, it's on collectorscash.com.
So if I wanted to see your whole collection, where would I go?
Well, you would go to the website. collectorscash.com, and you can misspell it just about every way. And we bought all the domain names. It'll still get there. Even if people put cash like CASH, it still gets you there. But it's spelled collectors CACHE. And it's not pronounced cachet, it's pronounced cash. And do you know what cash means?
Ben Franklin's, Hamilton's.
No, that's CASH. I mean CACHE, cash.
Has nothing to do with sex, does it?
Nothing to do with
No.
No. No, we're talking about Pokemon. Don't forget that. There's kids watching, Bob.
No, I only got 17 people. They're all old fuds.
Okay. So cash means
Blushing.
I'm blushing because okay, stop. Cash means like a secret place of hidden valuables.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Like
collectibles,
the Eternity Stone.
or a treasure chest, or like a hidden cave, or
Easter eggs.
sure, whatever.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you do after your
After cards.
cachet?
Well, we still have collector's cash, even though you like to say cachet. That's fine because it picks up. People will. We love it when people say the name wrong because then they argue about it. And the more you're talking about us, whether it's good or bad, right? You're talking about us.
Absolutely.
We've learned that in business. So we still have, our family still owns Collector's Cash, College and Flum. We still buy, sell, and trade cards, collectibles. I've even bought Barbie dolls in the past. Collections.
Really?
Yeah. Pretty much anything
Will we help you?
The Barbie movie?
Yeah.
Well, I don't deal in Barbie dolls. I mean, I just said I bought a collection. It doesn't mean I deal in them like
Well,
regularly.
that's in the warehouse.
No, that we've sold most of it. There's
All right.
probably $1 or $2 here hiding somewhere that we couldn't sell.
When you buy stuff,
Yeah.
do you say this is for This is for resale. This is a high profit margin opportunity, but this is never going to see the light of day. I'm keeping this one because of the appreciation of this special item.
Have you ever watched an episode of Pawn Stars?
Yeah,
So Chumley's one of my friends.
right,
Pawn Stars would be we don't do any pawns there,
right.
but would be the greatest example of what we do. People bring us stuff because we have the word collectibles in our name.
Right.
I mean, we've had people bring us bars of soap that were sealed up from the 50s and ask us and try to educate us that these are collectible. And we're like, that's great.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We're not interested, right? And then you have people bring, like I said, it could be a Pokemon card collection, a Barbie doll collection. It doesn't mean we're going to buy it.
Right.
We've bought NASCAR diecast cars. Anything collectible, right? There's going to be some audience that wants to buy, sell, and trade it. We just try to find what makes the most sense to buy.
Yeah, but how often do you do a new line extension? Something you haven't done before.
Rarely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the question. Do you save the good stuff?
I save some of the big stuff. Yes, the good stuff. I do. And that is not even listed for sale.
Right.
That's right. That's in what we call the
That's right.
cash.
That's your retirement fund.
Sure. That's the ace in the hole.
Undeclared.
No, it's declared.
I mean, do you have it in a vault underground up in Montana someplace?
What was the movie? How do you say it? If I told you, I'd have to kill you. What was the movie that?
No, but I got the message.
You get the message? And don't forget, we live in Kansas City.
Right.
Okay.
I got you. All right. So besides cards, what else have you done?
So in 2010, at the end of like 2009 or so, or 2008, when that housing crisis happened, I started paying attention to my friends who were in the gold business.
All right.
And they had all these cash for gold stores that they were aggressively expanding throughout America. They weren't just happy with one city.
Right.
They were going all over America. And so these were guys that I had met in the card business. So we had been buying and selling trading cards for years.
Okay.
They sold their card business and said, hey, scrap it, get out of the damn card business and get into gold. This is where the money's at. And so gold at the time, maybe when they got in, was $700-800 an ounce, but now it's up to 1,000 or whatever, and it's broke 1,000, which was a magical number. And every store they opened, they made money. Every store, because people in the 80s and 70s had bought all this gold and silver
For 100 or 200.
for nothing when spot was $100 an ounce, and now it's 1,000, so they could sell it, and everybody's making money. So I got tired of hearing them say, "Get rid of your card store, get in the gold business," because every time I talked to my friends, I'd say, well, how many stores do you have? They started with like 2 stores or 3 stores. And then the next call was like, oh, we're up to 7 stores. And some of them are in Chicago, some are in Atlanta, some are in LA. And the next one's, oh, we're up to 19 stores. I'm like, 19 stores? Like, are you talking physical brick and mortar locations? Or like,
Right.
they're like, yeah, 19 stores. And we're going to be up to 100 by the end of whatever. And I'm like by the end, like a year, you're going to have 100 stores? He goes, I told you, get rid of your card store
Right.
and get into the gold business. Well, I'm not going to get rid of my card store. It's my family's business.
Right.
And we're doing well. We love it.
Right.
Right. So
So
we decided that we were going to start with one store in Overland Park. And as it had it, Lenexa would not give us a precious metals license for our card store because we wanted to start buying gold out of there. It would be easy. They said, no, we can't give it to you. You're too close to a residential neighborhood. They had some zoning law. So it made us start We Buy Gold. And so we started at 76 and Metcalf, right down the
that's the
street.
name. That's the name of your business.
That's the name of the business.
We Buy Gold.
Yeah, because
I've seen that all over the place.
yeah, well, you can't trademark it, unfortunately. So everybody uses it because it's considered an action. You can't say like We Buy Carpets and say that's mine. No, a lot of people buy carpets. So we own We Buy Gold LLC here in Kansas and Missouri.
Is it a DBA?
It's just a LLC.
Wow.
We don't deviate. It's just We Buy Gold.
So all checks made out to We Buy Gold are your checks?
Yes, all the checks that go back and forth pretty much are us. Yeah, here in town, we don't have stores. So what happened was in 2010 we opened our first store, and my friends were correct. Like in like 2 months we got all our investment back. It was like crazy because everybody's just pulling chains off their neck and selling it, right?
Right.
So where our margins are there, we're
Are
making
you
our money.
selling gold too, or are you just buying?
At the time, we're just buying it and sending it to wholesalers and melting.
Really?
That's it. We weren't
So
doing.
somebody gives you a beautiful piece of jewelry,
We just melt it.
and you say, well, this is only 4 ounces. Here's your money.
Yeah.
And then you send it to.
Yeah, and we make our margin. That's right. So it melts at X, like the gold is worth X. We pay less than
I
that.
would have thought
Yeah.
that the artsy jewelry is worth a whole lot more
Well,
than the weight jewelry.
you're right. So when we first started, we didn't know that. So I don't
Okay.
even want to tell you how many Tiffany necklaces and
Well, I don't
design.
wanna
Let's
know.
not talk about how many diamonds we accidentally melted because we didn't know little diamonds were worth money and stuff. You learn fast, right? You make mistakes in business.
How do you melt the diamond?
Well, if you put jewelry that has diamonds when you melt gold, when you melt gold, the temperature that gold melts at will incinerate diamonds.
So you're burning up money.
Lots of money.
You're just burning money.
We did that for a while. And then somebody came and smacked us on the back of the head and said, "Hey, you should pull those stones out of the pieces you buy and I will buy them from you." And we're like,
Yeah.
"That's a good idea." So then here was the game changer. I said, if I'm going to follow my friends,
Their model.
and I'm going to just be crazy and open up tons of stores, which at that point I said, let's open up 10 stores. That was our goal.
What is the footprint? How big a store?
Hopefully as small as possible. Like ideally like 1,000 square feet or less,
All right.
ideally. But beggars can't be choosers. So when you go into a shopping center and it's 1,200 or 1,400 square feet and that's a small space,
And that's not cheap.
and that's not cheap, but we had our margins, we had our numbers, it was making sense every store. But I said, wait a second, where am I going to store this? Where am I going to do this? Whatever.
Security.
So we had to figure that out, and we did. And then we decided, let's try a second location. That's a big boy step, right? You go from 1 to 2.
Only if it's profitable.
Right. But the first one's crushing it, right? Out the gate. So we said, my dad always told me, if you're willing to accept the worst case scenario, then take the risk.
I got a question. Crushing it.
Yeah.
Is crushing it making 10,000 a month? Is crushing it making $50,000 a month? Is crushing making it $200,000 a month?
So crushing it, obviously you and I know is a relative term,
Right.
right? To Bill Gates or some rich, super wealthy guy.
It's how much money I got invested in it.
Right.
If I got $1,000 invested in
Right.
it a month,
Right.
and it's netting me $10,000 a month,
Right.
that's crushing it.
Right.
But I can't retire on $10,000 a month.
Right. So our first store cost us, and I'm being rough with my numbers here, about $40,000 to set up, start to finish. And that included the big sign on the outside that was like $7,000, right?
Probably more.
Right. Probably was 10 grand. So it cost 40,000. The reason I say crushing is we only put like 50 grand or so in the bank as operating capital to start, right?
Over the 40?
Right. We started with about 100K,
Okay,
right? So
100K.
100K is roughly what we started with.
Right.
So call it half of it went to setting the store up, 40% of it.
Right.
The rest was operating capital, right?
Counters, weights, balances, security cameras.
Right.
Right. Okay.
So this is back in 2010. Things are different as the price of gold goes up or down, things change. But at that time, I think we were probably netting about 30 a month in the first month, starting with the first month.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was positive cash flow for
Immediately, day one.
and 3-4 months later,
Less than 2 months later, we paid it off.
you paid off startup.
And we're making money every month.
That's
every month.
serious.
Serious money.
That's
That's
serious.
why my
No, no,
friend,
that's crushing.
that's crushing it, right? Like relative to what you invested.
Right. That's crushing.
Right. So my friends at that time had gotten, they're approaching, 20 stores in Atlanta. They have 20 or 30 in Chicago. So they've got like 50 and their goal is
And you were burning up the good jewelry and throwing away the diamonds.
by the way, making 30 grand, not knowing what we were doing.
Right.
I just want to make that clear.
Right.
Like we probably were making 40 a month or 45
More,
a month, right?
right.
50 a month.
Right.
We didn't know.
How many months do you do that for?
Well, we aggressively said, well, why don't,
I want to count how much money you burnt up.
yeah, that's something you need to sit down, kick back.
Let's keep
All
going.
right. So
Store number 2.
I was looking for kind of a headquarters and we wanted somewhere because the goal was, okay, this model works. And one thing I didn't do when I set up my card store, because it was just me, my brother, my dad,
Right.
it was just family, is we never set up processes, SOPs, manuals,
All right.
because it was just us.
Right.
But I said, if I'm going to expand to 10 stores,
And you're not going to be there.
I'm not going to be at all 10 stores. I got to have SOPs and guidelines how we do this. So I can't tell you, and Liz knows this, my family knows this, how many Sundays I sacrificed to create and write our precious metals buying guide, or this guide or whatever, everything so that we could make a cookie cutter.
Wait a second. You sacrifice time to build your business?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thing. Some people that might have been
Wait,
successful.
if you weren't, if it wasn't your business or you weren't getting paid for it, I could see you saying sacrifice.
Yep.
You were investing your weekends in building your business.
That's another way to
That's
say it.
that's how entrepreneurs build a business.
Yeah, that's another way to say it. But like if you take it back, like when my kids were a lot younger, I could have taken them to the park or taken them to this or done this, but
That's what
instead
you
of
got
doing that,
married for.
yeah, you're lucky she likes you. You know,
Yeah. I mean,
she would be throwing stuff at you right now if she didn't
I
like
mean,
you.
that's what a partner does. I do this, you do that, and together everything gets done.
Viewers, should we have my wife Liz like throw stuff at Bob right
No,
now?
absolutely not.
I think she
So-
should.
No, so please don't.
So we're on location 2.
Right,
We're hunting for location 2. I'm building SOPs because I know I can't be everywhere at once.
Right.
Everywhere all at once, right? And so once that got done, I'm still in the process of negotiating a lease agreement for location number 2, and I found it, which was our spot on 151st Street. It was a vacant old bank. It sat vacant for a few years.
Oh, that was your number 2?
That was number 2.
That
Yeah.
was a huge investment.
Huge investment. And by the way, you know, they say risk versus reward. You know, the reason that we were able to come out on top, just so everybody knows, the risk was massive. I signed like a 5-year lease.
With an option to buy?
No, with an option to buy, yes, but also with a kickout clause. So what I was willing to do was pay him virtually his asking price and rent, so that I would guarantee him, I have to look at the lease, but maybe a year or 2 years of rent. That was it. But I wanted a 5-year lease with an option to renew, which was very important.
Right.
First right of refusal on the ability to buy the property if somebody wanted to buy
Right.
it, because we didn't want somebody to buy it from underneath us and kick us out. But I said, well, I got to have the ability that if gold and silver prices that I can't control tank,
You got to be able to walk
I
away.
got to be able to walk away.
Right.
I can't just pay this guy rent, you
Right.
know, and the rent wasn't cheap. I mean,
That's a beautiful piece of real estate.
it is right off the highway, right off a busy street.
Right.
And so we knew that we were making enough money off of the first location.
Yeah.
All the old guys are like, I don't like it. You're throwing away don't throw good money at bad money. I know.
Okay.
Well,
Well, wait, how long have you been in that building?
we were in our first location for like 2 months before we
How long
started.
have you been in the bank?
Now
Yeah.
we signed the lease. We opened up February of 2011, so 13 years.
You own the building now.
I do now.
You're paying the mortgage, but you own the building.
Yeah, I own it now. Yeah,
All
that's right. Yeah,
And the mortgage is a lot cheaper than the rent.
correct. Which was really cool.
Right. Well, that's why you buy things instead of rent things.
They don't.
Is the mortgage payment is less than the rent, and you have an asset that appreciates versus a thank you note at Christmas time.
But they don't teach you that in school.
No,
You have to figure that out on your own.
I've told a lot of people this. So,
It's sad.
so how many gold stores did you get up to?
Our goal was 10 and we got up to 14.
14. Hold on a second. 14 times 30,000 a month.
So what happened was we started,
14 times $30,000 a month is 420 a month times 12,
5 million a year.
about 5 million a year.
Yeah, we didn't make that much, unfortunately.
Close.
No,
3.
less.
Okay. You made a lot of money.
We did.
Right.
We did. But here's what we learned.
And
We
the
started,
best part is, just like the cards, the good stuff went into the secret warehouse.
I didn't say that. Nobody said
The
that.
good jewelry.
Nobody said that.
No,
Nobody
nice
said that. No,
big
we melted it all.
earrings,
All melted.
Bracelets.
All melted.
Some of the
Mr.
tennis
The Mr.
bracelets,
T jewelry.
Mr. T's.
Yeah, I've got pictures of that, which we should flash up on the screen at some point.
Okay. All right. So you made a lot of money doing gold.
Yeah, but this is what I want to point out. This is very important for your
Right.
viewers.
Not my viewers. The only people going to watch this
These
are
are-
your friends.
No, these are your friends.
You're going to put this on your
Okay.
your stuff and say, everybody, you just had an interview with Big Bob, and you want them to watch it because you did a great job.
Okay.
Way to go.
Well, I appreciate that.
All right.
I don't know if I did a great job or not, but I have to tell you this real quick.
Yeah.
When you open up that many locations in the same city, you start cannibalizing
No shit.
the stuff. And we didn't realize that.
Let me tell you how you're supposed to do it.
Well, you're telling me after I already know.
Well,
You
that's
know.
because you didn't take me out to lunch and buy me a cup of coffee, because I would have given this to you for free.
Yeah, but Starbucks
Do a
is
zip
expensive.
code.
You know?
I don't do Starbucks. I do Dunkin' Donuts. You do a zip code analysis of the business that you're writing,
Okay.
and then you look at what zip codes in the city are you not bringing any business into? And that's where you go to open your business.
We did that. We were even open in like Raytown and Lee Summit.
Oh, yeah, but the demographics there don't have gold.
Well, they had a lot of silver.
Lee Summit might have had a lot of gold.
They had a decent amount of gold.
Right.
They did. And we were off at Chipman Road, that new development.
Beautiful.
It was good. But long story short, we didn't make as much per store because we were cannibalizing each other's profits.
All right.
That was a mistake.
How many stores would have been ideal?
If I could go back, I would have probably
Eight.
I would have kept between 5 and 7.
All right. 2, 3, 2 in Johnson County,
We had
1 up north,
we had
1 in Lee Summit.
Yeah.
4.
one up
maybe-
North Kansas City.
Yeah, I said up
Yeah,
north.
yeah.
North, 2 in Johnson County, Lee Summit, maybe downtown.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This would have been
Right.
the magic. Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Because your customer is a lot more affluent
Yes.
because people who make $50,000 a year might not have any jewelry that's worth selling,
Or they don't want to sell it.
or it's a family heirloom
Sure.
that's been around forever. Okay. Did you get a lot of family heirlooms?
We did. I mean, people pass away and then the people that inherit it,
Okay.
will sell it sometimes.
But now you're adding more businesses to the mix.
Yeah. So, yeah, we kept it. We still have We Buy Gold. And then
How many locations?
we only have 3 now.
Are they all profitable?
They're all profitable.
There you go.
Thank
Who
you.
cares?
Yeah.
Next.
You don't want to talk about, you don't want to talk about the down,
No,
the wave I had to, the crap I had to go through to get out of that.
If you'd taken me out for a cup of coffee, I might have saved you a lot of pain.
Yeah,
I
it's
might
true.
have been able to save you a lot of pain.
Yeah.
All right. So next.
We don't want to talk about the losses and the
But
recovery.
I'm going to tell you about your last loss. That was pretty stupid.
Because I only,
But let's talk about the number 3 business.
can I finish with number 2? I only want
Hold on. Everybody raise your hand if you want to hear more about number 2.
I think this is great to share because everybody always likes to talk about business when it's peachy and rosy and there's sunshine and
Right.
rainbows. But not everybody wants to talk about when you're going out of business and the ship is sinking and getting out of it. And to me, that's the hardest part. Like in the card business, we were 2 months away from closing our doors in 1994, 1995 range when baseball went on strike because we sold baseball cards, right? I survived that because I pivoted to Magic the Gathering and
Right.
stuff, right? People kept calling me back in those days for Magic cards, and I thought it was Magic Johnson.
Right.
No, they wanted Magic the Gathering, the trading card game, right?
Who knows?
Right, but I figured it out and got into it. So in gold, I didn't tell you this, but in 2013, prices fell off a cliff and started tanking. And so we went from making all that money every month we were all giddy about a few minutes ago to losing that kind of money every month.
I got a question. Could you have taken a piece of jewelry and gone to a traditional jewelry store and sold it to them for what it was worth as a piece of jewelry versus the weight?
They don't buy back like that. No. They
I
don't.
might have considered opening up a secondhand or pawn shop where I would be able to get full bang.
We did consider. It's a
Right.
whole nother can of worms.
I
Then the
part-
cookie
that-
cutter we
just
buy gold
partner-
store.
Partner with a pawn shop.
Well, most of
Put-
them were.
Put that shit on consignment and let them take a commission. But anyways,
That's another podcast
okay.
discussion.
Right.
You want to go to business number 3. I just wanted to say we
This is-
survived the storm and we settled at 3 stores. COVID took 1. We had 4. COVID took 1. We got down to 3.
How much real estate do you own?
I own total, like commercial.
Just those 3.
Commercial, we own 2 buildings, 2
2
commercial
out of the
properties.
3.
No, we only own 1 out of the 3 for that business.
And you don't even own the car building.
No.
Why didn't you put your money in real estate?
I've tried to buy that multiple times. Our landlord's a great guy, local guy. You probably know who he is.
It doesn't matter. What is most of your card business walk-ins or online?
Most of it is online, but here in Kansas City.
Doesn't matter where the location is if the majority of your business is online.
Well, I get that. I just want you to know I've been under contract multiple times to buy commercial property for that business.
All right.
They
Okay.
fell through. Yeah,
And you could put all 3 of your businesses under the same roof.
we could.
If you had
Could
a
add
small
another
strip
one.
center.
Sure. And we've been shopping for 'em.
All right.
Yeah.
Business number 3.
Escape rooms.
Escape rooms. Is this something you learned from all the businesses you're in? Is how to escape?
Yes. However, my friends that were into cards, that were into gold, then sold their gold businesses, closed them down, and got into escape rooms. It was the hot new entertainment thing. And the reason we all liked it theoretically was there was nothing tangible to buy and sell.
Okay.
So all you need to do is just get enough numbers walking through the door, like a movie theater or something like
Once
that.
it's set up, there's no additional cost.
That's it, right?
Okay.
And so we bought that building on 151st Street, and we had a basement that had 4,000 square feet that was vacant, that we were doing nothing with. And I asked my friend, how much square footage do you need for an ideal escape room? He said, oh, 3, 4, 5,000 square feet.
I got that.
That's right. And they were all offices because it was the old mortgage department of the
Right.
bank. And we said, so I talked to, now my partner at the time was a friend. I said, hey, could we open up one of the escape rooms? You figured out that business again. Can we just copy your brand, license it, and open up here in Kansas?
Right.
And he's like, yeah. So he partnered with me. And so the beautiful thing, and you know what I'm getting ready to say here, is I've got 2 businesses that I own pieces of that I make money off of. Plus, I'm the landlord, and each of those businesses does what?
Right.
Pays me rent.
Right.
So that's the beauty about owning that.
You're preaching the choir.
That's right.
Okay.
I know I'm not teaching you nothing new. I just wanted
You,
to say
you
that. was-
teach me a lot. Don't look at Liz when you say that.
I'll teach him poker. He needs to still learn how to be a little more patient at poker. That's the one
I
thing.
really do.
I know.
Okay, so we'll get to poker later
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is how we
how
met.
many escape rooms do you have?
I have one location with 4 rooms with 4 different themes.
What are the themes?
You really want to know?
As long as it's not sex, politics, or religion, yeah.
All right. The first one is a takeoff of like what a Back to the Future themed time travel room would be. We call it Lost in Time.
Okay.
The second one, which remember, we created these rooms about 10 years ago, is called Outbreak. A virus breaks out and you have to find the cure.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. The third one is kind of themed similar to like Harry Potter. So you got the magician wizardry kind of vibe to it.
All right.
And your uncle Ulrich basically gets, I think, kidnapped and you have to like save him kind of
All
thing.
right.
And the fourth one is my favorite. It's the Kansas,
Cowboys and Indians.
even better. It's the Kansas City bank heist room.
Okay.
You rob the bank
Okay.
and you try to escape before the cops
All
are
right.
there.
They probably can make a movie out of that.
Well, we've had we've had local police departments play, and it's really neat to arrest the cops when they don't break out, because that's kind of part of the.
By the way, a shout out to Doug Bedford. He won the primary for the Sheriff Johnson County election that was held August 6th of 2024. He was on the podcast recently also.
Can I give a shout out real quick? Just a real quick one.
You know, who do you want
I
to?
want to give a shout out to Topps Baseball Cards for, helping give me the love of baseball cards when I was a kid. Topps is still around. Fanatics owns them now. We're still pushing, buying, selling, and trading Topps baseball cards. We love all the other
I love their
manufacturers
bubble
too.
gum growing up.
We love Panini. We love Upper Deck. We love everybody else that makes these things. But I got to give a shout out to Topps. I'm wearing my 1984 like replica. It looks like a wax pack.
We might have to edit this part out. So now you got another business.
Yep. This is the one that was this was the crazy one. If you
Yeah.
think the other ones were actually nuts, this was the crazy one.
Right.
Axe throwing with beer.
Wait a second. Let me picture this.
Yeah.
Have a couple of beers,
Yep.
take an axe, and throw it at the wall.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe.
Maybe. Hopefully not hit anybody.
Uh,
What could go wrong? You know? I know that's what you're gonna ask.
Right.
Yeah.
20-year-olds, too much beer,
Yeah.
and an axe in their hand.
Right. Lot of processes.
How big
SOPs.
are your bouncers?
Well, we don't have necessarily big bouncers. We just have a really, really good team that
Do you have
Managers.
taser guns and to put people down?
no comment.
Uh-huh. The police station don't have you on. Do you have the police station on speed dial?
No, because we're really good at managing,
How much alcohol? you
Yeah, I mean, we're not there to get people really intoxicated, drunk. If people want to have a beer or two, that's fine. We limit the amount of beers people can have.
Right.
We don't serve more than your traditional like beer or wine.
Geez, you got a license to serve alcohol.
Had to do
You
that.
have a license.
Not proud of it. I didn't really want to do
You have
that.
a license to buy and sell gold.
That's right. Precious metals license.
You probably could run for public office. You're so squeaky clean.
Probably could, but I just don't like politics. I could, and I could run for president, but I'd have to pick a side, and that would mean 50% of the world would hate me, and I don't need that.
Oh, well, this
I already have enough people that don't like me, from time to time.
we basically talked about this on a phone call a couple of weeks ago. Our backgrounds are dissimilar, but very similar.
Yeah.
Talk to me about growing up in this community as a Persian.
Well, I'm half my dad's Persian.
Right.
My mom's side of the family's Croatian, so I'm like a mutt, like everybody else in this world.
Yeah.
I'm 50-50.
You look like a mutt.
I'm half Croatian, half Persian. But then when you run like 23andMe, I have like 2% this and 1% this.
I got a question.
I'm basically everything on earth.
So, do you consider yourself Persian or European?
I just consider myself a dude.
You're not a dude. You're a wannabe dude. I'm sorry.
I mean, look, you know how it is when you're depending on the environment you're in.
My father.
I'm proud to be Persian when I'm with all my Persian friends and stuff, and I'm proud to be European.
So So I'm half German.
Yeah.
25% Russian.
Yeah.
25% Palestinian.
Wow.
My father was born in Jerusalem. I tell people I'm Palestinian.
I got some Russian in me too. We're brothers.
Right.
From another mother somewhere.
Maybe.
I'm just saying I probably have 1% or 2% Russian.
Right.
I saw it on there.
But I picked the nationality that I want to identify with.
Okay.
All right. Childhood normal.
No, childhood was fairly ever so changing. Elaborate.
Yeah, you want to share more? Or not?
Okay, yeah, that's
You
fine.
don't have to share.
No, it's fine. I'll just give you the short
I-
version.
I sweep it under the rug. We don't
Yeah.
have to talk about it.
No, it just, it was tough. When you grow up, we grew up with no money. So I don't come from a family that had money, that was privileged or anything like that. Dad was an immigrant, right? Came over here in the 70s from Iran. Mom was here, born and raised in Kansas City.
Wait a second. This is the American dream.
Yeah.
His parents came here poor
Yep.
because they wanted the freedom.
Yep.
They pour their love and their energy into selling the American dream to their children, working 2 or 3 jobs so their children can have more and better.
That's right.
And he built something out of nothing. You are living the American dream your parents sacrificed themselves for.
They did. And
This is what BTBY is basically about, is how do you become a better version of yourself? And it is through the core values, the work ethic that your parents instilled upon you to make you honest, don't lie, cheat, and steal, be a good family man, be a faithful husband, take care of your kids, build a big business, employ people.
Napoleon Hill, one of his biggest takeaways in Think and Grow Rich is to have a burning desire. And if you have a burning desire, you can accomplish anything.
What is your burning desire?
My burning desire was to get wealthy so that my family didn't have to suffer from financial conditions that we suffered from our whole life. That was the early.
Yeah, what is it
burning-
now?
Now is contribution and
Give back.
yeah, giving back, legacy, being able to try to utilize all the resources, people, credit, businesses, influence to positively influence Earth for the next generations.
Help as many people as you can help.
Yeah, through the ways I know, right? There's
Right.
people doing it the way they do, and without fighting over the traditional politics, religion, the stuff you said earlier. I want to just show people that I was, by definition, an underdog. There is no way a kid like me, growing up with an immigrant dad from Iran that was a dishwasher, a waiter, and had an ice cream truck, could somehow become this guy, right? Perceivably. At least that's what you're told when you hang around poor people, because
Right.
they're poor-minded too. They're not
Right.
just poor financially, they're poor-minded. And there was just this burning desire, as Napoleon Hill calls it, that watching my parents suffer from lack of money and not be able to do things simply because they didn't have money drove me to say, kind of like 50 Cent said it, get rich or die trying. So I was either going to get financially rich, which once you get over the hump, you realize it's not all about the money. there's so much more to life than money, but
Well, this is important part.
that was a big
You
deal.
were driven to make money.
Yes,
When you realized you had enough money,
yes.
what was the new priority?
Giving back, contribution, helping as many people as I could as fast as I could.
Tell me about your kids.
What about them?
Are they entitlement brats?
No, they were raised that if you want something, you have to go earn it.
Not put your hand out to get it,
No.
earn it.
I mean, obviously they grew up a much
They,
better
they had a
life.
bicycle,
Sure.
they had the new toy,
Right.
they took vacations.
That's right.
I get it.
Yeah, like if their video game system was bought for the holidays, where we had to go shovel driveways and mow lawns to get our Nintendo,
See, see,
or work or sack groceries,
I told my kids, you want a pair of jeans? I got $40 that goes towards a pair of jeans. You want to go buy better jeans? Come to the store, drive the forklift.
Right.
I'll pay you $8 an hour.
Yep.
When they were that age, minimum wage was
Yep.
$7.75. I'll pay you $8.
That's right.
So nothing. You don't give nothing. I give my kids all the love. I give them as much time. I give them the necessities. I paid for their education.
Yeah.
Right. Other than that, you got to earn your own.
It's called fishing, as you know, fishing your own fish. And I taught my kids how to fish their own fish. I wanted them to not feel like mom and dad are going to give you everything, even though they're growing up in nice school districts right here in Kansas City. I said, these kids have got to learn how to make their own. So find your passion and earn your own keep.
Was Liz, your wife,
Yeah.
100% on board, or did you have to convince her also?
100% on board.
So she grew up with the same core values that you have.
Yes.
So it wasn't you had to sell her.
No,
She was, this is what we're doing together.
she had to work when she was younger to make what she had. So did her mom. So did her dad. They all had to work. They're
I
all
love it.
hardworking Americans.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
Same core values.
Right.
That's right.
Okay. You're still a young man.
Fairly.
I mean, you look like
I still have most of my hair.
you look like you're 38, but you're 48.
God bless you.
Yeah. You can buy me lunch sometime.
Yeah. Your check's in the mail.
What's next?
You really want to know? This is exciting. Like, this is the one.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch a movie in the 80s called The Goonies?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies.
Well, I'm the crazy nut that bought the house
No shit.
from the
No,
movie.
no. You bought that big mansion thing?
It's not a mansion. It's like
Well,
a little
looks-
Victorian.
Looked like a mansion in the movies.
It did. They made it look really big. Cameras can do
Right.
stuff. It's not really that big, but it's a beautiful house. It's got a
No,
beautiful view.
really?
I bought the house from the Goonies. And
Wow.
this is my passion project. And this is my gateway, I believe, to be able to influence and change the world for the better and do good and
What,
give back
Goonies?
through the Goonies. For the
Goonies
love-
are going to make the world a better place?
We're going to make the world a better place.
Like a fraternity?
Well, think about it like this. What is being a Goonie? You love your family. You love your friendship. You stick together. You're determined. You never give up. They say never say die in the movie, right?
Right.
You never give up. And that is like the core front of what every ethnic culture, religion, country,
Are you going to have a pirate ship in this?
maybe. But that's not what the ultimate goal here is, to be able to look, you know this. We're divided as a nation, as a country. We're more divided in my lifetime, I feel, than we ever have
And
been.
Goonies are going to unite us.
The Goonies are going to
Goonies unite!
Goonies for life. I'm just telling you, Goonies never say die. I think there's a way, because
All right. So what are you going to do with the building?
I-
What are you gonna do with the house?
with the house, we're gonna, like I said on the news, we're gonna renovate it, and make it look like it did back in 1985 in the movie.
Wow.
We're going back, baby, like back in time.
This is going to cost a fortune.
Yeah, that's what investors are for, right?
Really.
Yeah, we've got a show in the works.
Hold on. If you want a piece of the Goonie Mansion, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, I mean, they could go to goonieshome.com and email us at support@goonieshome.com. A lot of people just straight DM me on Instagram or Facebook, and then eventually I get caught up and I answer
because they
them.
want to throw an axe with a couple of beers. But if they
While they're
want-
dressed up as a pirate.
as a Goonie, what is a Goonie?
It's kind of like what I said a minute ago.
No. Goonies, nose picking, funny looking.
It's the short version would be kind of like an outcast kid.
No
you know?
shit.
You know,
Right.
like not norm, you know?
Right.
So if you feel
Leftovers.
that's right, if you feel like you're not normal and you're kind of one of those, you're one of us. Like join with us. Like we're all crazy, weird in our own ways. And if you've got that geek in you, if you've got that anything, you're a Goonie. I mean, that's just you're a closet Goonie. I know you are.
I probably.
You're a closet Goonie.
Were you a Goonie growing up?
I was a Goonie growing up. When I first saw that movie, I was 9 years old at the Glenwood Theaters off of Metcalf.
That's okay. Okay.
That's where I saw Goonies with. Now, this is what I got to tell you. This is a true story. You're not gonna believe this. So my next door neighbor at the time, Michael Eakin. We called Michael, like your son, yes, who I nicknamed Mikey only because of the Goonies. My mother took Michael, me, my brother Allie, and my sister Sarah, who was a little baby at the time, to see Goonies at Glenwood Theaters. I fell in love with that movie immediately. I said, I'm a Goonie.
You are a Goonie.
I'm going to find the treasure.
You are a Goonie.
You know what they were looking for?
Yeah.
One-Eyed Willie's secret pirate treasure. That was
Right.
probably worth billions of dollars. And they
that's
found
what-
it.
Right. And that's what you're looking for.
We're all
in your
looking for it.
cards.
You want to
And
know
your
what's
stash of gold in the safety deposit box.
So I'm going to tell you something even weirder. Subconsciously, all of my businesses were themed after the movie The Goonies. Subconsciously, not intentionally. That's how much
I got the hatchet business. That one I figured out.
Okay.
The escape room. Okay. Yeah.
They're trying. What are they trying to do in the movie?
Find gold.
Find gold and escape from the evil Fratelli
Right.
family
Right,
that's
right,
trying
right.
to kill them.
So what about the trading cards?
Well, what is the logo of Collector's Cash? What's my logo?
Stack of money?
No,
But-
it's a treasure chest with gold coins overflowing.
Oh shit.
That's my logo.
Okay.
So subconsciously, all my businesses were created from the Goonies movie.
Are your kids Goonies?
I mean, I don't think they go out there and tell their friends we're Goonies, but I think they are. I think
Are all your friends Goonies?
a lot, not all of my friends. I mean, growing up, a lot of people made fun of the movie. You were like some people thought you're a dork or you're a geek if you're like, you like the Goonies. To me, it was a way of life. You're like, you want to get with your friends, you want to go on an adventure.
You weren't a dork. You weren't a nerd.
Maybe.
You were a Goonie.
You remember the movie The Nerds? Nerds. I mean, look, I was in sports. I played sports.
Look at the t-shirt he's wearing.
I'm a sports guy, but I identify as a
With
Goonie
Goonies.
because I have an insatiable thirst
So
for
when
adventure.
when is this project going to be completed?
We're in.
Wait a second. You can set it up like Disneyland. Charge people admission.
Stop. Don't say that. It's in a residential neighborhood. I got neighbors against.
Buy up their
Okay.
homes. Build a theme park around it. Dollyland.
It's in a residential
Dollyland.
neighborhood. It's in a hey, we can't talk about that. Bottom line is it's a residential house. I can't do anything with it. The end. What was I saying before that?
Treasure box with gold overflowing.
No, that was just the logo. I said something after that.
You loved your wife a lot.
That has nothing to do with that is true, but that has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
You're a full-fledged Goonie.
Yes. Yeah, you got to understand. Oh no, you asked me what the show. You said where's the show going?
Right.
So right now the lawyers are going back and forth, and once we have a deal with the production company, we're off to the races. We're going to film a home renovation show for making over the Goonies house to look like it did.
So
in the
you're
movie.
making a TV show
Yep.
while you're doing the renovation
Yes.
as a reality show.
Yes.
Who's going to be in it?
Well, I'm going to be one of the stars, probably the main star. I'm the guy that bought the house.
I think you
But I'm not done. You said
okay,
who's
who else?
We've got a Hollywood top set designer. I believe JP Connolly is going to be in it.
Wow.
He did the voice, and Kelly Clarkson. And then we're going to try to get the original cast to be a part of it as well.
No shit.
All of them. Well, the boys that were part of the house.
You might
Yeah.
want to just do a cameo instead of being the star of it.
Look, I appreciate your confidence in me and my acting skills.
You got a face for radio.
Here's the deal. I'm the guy that bought the house.
Yeah, that's why you do a cameo.
No, and you ready? Hey.
Stan Lee. He didn't star in any of his movies. He just did cameos.
This is what you got to realize. This isn't unscripted.
You could
It's
be,
unscripted.
you could be what is the guy with the stripes?
Waldo?
What you could be fine. Walt. You could be.
Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo?
He wants me to be where's Waldo? So now I need to get a Waldo shirt.
You could be.
Listen.
You could be. Yeah, you
He's not
could
very
be-
good at listening, is he?
You could be the guy hiding in a camouflage outfit in every scene, just standing against the wall and just moving once or twice.
And everybody just has to find me,
Right,
point me out when they
right,
see me.
right.
This is how much faith Bob has in me. Hey, look, this is unscripted what you and I are doing right now.
Yeah,
All I have to do is just talk and be normal, and that's all.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I know. Yeah, we'll see how it does.
This is a lot of fun. I swear, if you could pull this off, it will be.
What do you mean if? I'm going to. It's done.
When you
It's
pull
written.
this off, this
Thank
will be your crowning moment.
That's what I'm
Right.
talking about, brother.
It is going to be all the rest of this crap just got you to fulfill this dream.
Yep.
And what an accomplishment.
Thank you. This is
You're
going to be it.
absolutely spectacular.
Thank you.
So, good guest, right? Very informative. Serial entrepreneur. Create opportunities out of nowhere. It's not like he reinvented a wheel,
Nope.
right? He just built businesses based on the success of other businesses and executed the plan.
Yep.
That's brilliant.
Thank you. I mean, that's what restaurants are, right?
Right.
Just do
Right.
a restaurant.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Nope.
Just find somebody who's already done it and do it as well as they've done it.
Or
before.
better.
Or better. And you have done it better.
Some. Yeah.
Right. I'd be very interested in someday seeing your private stash.
The cards are really cool cards. I'm not going to lie to
I
you.
would know. It's the jewelry I'm looking for.
No, you don't want the jewelry's garbage.
Is it really?
It's nothing special.
Well, yeah, I can
That's-
have it melted down, made into.
No, we're not going to melt the jewelry down. Not this stuff. No, it's the.
Brother, thank you very
Hey,
much.
no, I want a hug. I don't want a handshake.
Go ahead, give me
I want a hug.
Give me a
Thank-
kiss.
hey,
Give me
no,
a kiss.
no,
Come on, come on.
on the cheek, Daddy.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
There you-
Grandpa just got a kiss.
Thank you very
I
much.
didn't even get it. Can I have a handshake now? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. What a joy.
Love this guy.
Love you much. Thank
Yes.
you very much.
See ya.